Hey guys, welcome back to my another video. On this video, I'm gonna show you guys how we can build a little music player app in JavaScript, and basically it's going to be plain JavaScript and also the HTML and CSS. So this is how it will look at the end. So here is a music player. I have added the three music here. Basically, it's a song, and I got this song from Ben Sound. So basically, so now when I click on play, then it's going to play a song. Okay, it's going to play a song. I'm gonna make this a little small here. Okay, so it's going to play this song. I can go to the next one. This is still going to play. And yes, if I go and click on next, then it's going to go into the next. And if I go back, then it's going to be back my previous music. And I could able to play, play, and pause, and play. Okay, so this is going to be this our project for this today. So this is going to be really cool. So please watch my video. So let's begin this project. Okay. So the first thing is I already created this project. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a new project here called music. I already created a music, so I'll create something called music player, and I'm gonna create a new HTML file. Okay. Index.html, and I'm gonna go add HTML5 here, and this is going to be our music player app. Okay, and this is going to be in plain JavaScript as I mentioned before. So I'm not gonna use any framework or library on the top of it. I'm just gonna use the font awesome here. I use a font awesome for this icon. That's all what I use it here. So now let me build the style. You know what? Let me create a new folder called CSS, and inside the CSS, let me create a style.css. Okay, I'm going to import that style here. CSS style.css, and this is going to be a style sheet. So real style. Okay. Okay, so now I have this already. My style is been added on my HTML file. So now let me go back to my HTML here, and this is music player, and this is my plain HTML, which I can't say anything at this time. Okay, so the first thing, let me write some of the style sheets here. So the first thing is I'm gonna create on the padding is 0 because the browser will add you a padding and margin by default, and I don't want to add anything. And I'm gonna also do a border box, border. I'm gonna also box sizing to border box. Okay, just to make sure that I don't have any padding and margin on anywhere. It's just a plain, the page. I want a plain page that should work. Okay. So now let me go in HTML and let me build couple of the div element here. Let me do a container here, and let me write here something called music app. This is going to be our music app, and I will create something called music content, where we have all our music content will be, such as music content class, uh, music content. It should be not div, not dove, right? And music content, and let me. I think okay. So in music content inside, let me create another called music album, where we can add our image for the cover image for the our album. And I'm gonna get this from onplus.com. So you know what? I have also three song already here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy this song and I'm gonna paste it here inside this my song. Okay. And another thing is I need the also the cover image. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna grab this data. Okay. So basically, what this data does is I'm going to write here script first. Let me write here script as well. So I can write in separate file or I could write it here. It doesn't even matter. I'll just leave it here. So this is going to be my data. So this is an artist and this is song, and song is here. It's pointing on here location, and this is my cover image which I got from here. Basically, this is just array. Data has an array, and array has this object, and object has a for property. That's all it does. Okay. So what I'm gonna do for now is I'm gonna grab this image and I'm gonna put it here. Just want to see this image. Okay. So I can see this image here in the back. Okay, because I haven't used any style at this time, so I want to put it, I want to see what it looks like, and I will put the style on the top of it. Okay, so let me see, let me write this that, okay, this should be something called better together. Let me do as a paragraph here. So now I will see the paragraph here in the bottom right here. Okay, so this will be only on the plain HTML, no CSS at this time. So this will be my artist. Okay, so my artist will be, okay, I can give any name here, Catherine. Okay, and let me write it here, the another class, and this is going to be a song title. Okay, title. Okay, so now I have a song title here, and this should become in the middle. And also, of course, I need to also create a control here on the bottom, but let's go in CSS and do this first, the work here. Okay. So now the first thing what I have here is a container. Okay, so let me make this container. Container. Let me do container as my the browser. I want to put this in the middle. So let's work on that part. For that one, I will do a width. Width is 100, 100 view viewport width. Okay, and the height it should be 100 viewport height. Okay, so it will cover my everything on my screen, which is good. So this is my container here. Okay, so now let me do the first thing is, let me go this image here, the music album of this image, and let me give some class here. Al album uh, album cover image. Okay, so I want to make this really small. This is really huge, so let me do this smaller here. So let me give the width, how much I should give a width, 200 pixel. Let me see how it looks like. Okay, it looks like this, maybe less than this, right? 100. Oh, too small. Maybe 150. Okay, looks good. So now I want to put this in the middle first. That's what I need to do. So I will do using this container. The container is a part where I am sitting here. This is the main div of the container. So I will make this as display as a flex. You know what? Let me make this a little bigger. My text is that. I think that's good. Okay. So now display is a flex and justify content is center. Now it will come to center and as a horizontal but not with a vertical. So for vertical I will use something called align item. So now it will goes to center here. Now I have this image and my container at the center of the screen. Okay, that's all I need here, I guess. Yep, that's all I need. And I need a couple of the background color here. I can give any background color. I'm not sure which background color which I give before, but let me grab a new background color using the color palette here. So let me pick anyone, doesn't even matter. Looks something with a good one. Maybe try this. Okay, so not that looks good, but let me go with something light. Let me go with the you go Chinese palette and let me try this. Okay, okay, looks not bad. I think that's fine. So here it is. So this is how it looks like now. So what I have another one is a music app. So I do have some music app, and I will add some box shadow stuff like that on this one. So let's build some CSS for that one. So that's called the music app, and this music app is inside the container, of course, and this will be here. Let me see the where is sitting at this time. So let me do as a border, border 1 pixel solid, and 1 2 3. Okay, 1 2 3 3. Okay, it's here, right here, as you guys can see. So what I really want to do is I'm gonna make this, I'm gonna put this like this. Okay, so let me make this a little bigger. um, Okay, 100 pixel width, and the height, let me give some height for this my music player, that is going to be 500 pixel. Okay, and now I need to put a background color here, so let me do a background color, and background color could be anything. So let me give something, this one, which is a white, kind of like a white cis, something like that. So I don't want a border, I'll remove the border. Here it is. Okay, this is how it looks like. So you know what, let me give the border as well, and let me go to border radius now, because I need some radius to looks a little good. Okay, now that I have a border radius, so now finally let me give some box shadow as well. 0 0.0, 0.5 rem, 1 rem, and RGBA, comma 0, 0 comma green, blue, and 0.15. Okay, okay, okay. Now I have some really nice border here. Looks good. So now the next thing what I have is the music content, which is, this is my content. So let me give some padding on this my music content, because it's the music, this image is it's joined with that my the music app deep. So now I do have something called music content. So on music content, let me do some padding, 20% pixels. So now I will just see some padding, looks good. And let me give some the height here as 100%. So now it will goes all 100%, and let me give as a width is equal to 100% as well. Okay, so now let me do a display as a flex here. Of course it's going to display as a flex for music content. So let me see the music content here. Okay, music content has only the music album. I don't have a control here, but if I have control, then it looks like this. I should have a control here later on. Okay, but this is how it looks like. So what I'm really want to do here is I want to do a justified content is the first thing is center, and also the align item is center. I want to make that as a middle center. Okay, it comes in the middle, and also of course the flex direction I need as a column here. Okay, so I can see like this. So now let me add this the control here, or how the music control is going to be. So here instead of this album I will write a music controls. Okay, so now I will need to add a couple of the music control here instead of this. And the first thing I'm going to add here is a something called pre, which will go a step backward, right? And this is going to be previous. This is how it looks like now. I will add that this is going to be, I will add the icon later on, and this is going to be next. Okay, so this is how it looks like at this time for music control. And for the music controls, now I need to add is, I will copy this music control. I will make this on music control. Okay, so now let me add some of this CSS on this music control here. So on music control, let me add the first thing is a display as a flex. And of course, now it will become a flex, but the width, it's this guy is it's together all my content here. Let me make this little wider. It doesn't have a width. Okay, it does have a width, but it doesn't have a width. And let me do it as a justified content. Instead of justified content center, let me do the space around for this one, so I can see like this: pre, play, and next. Okay, it looks like the similar which I showed you before, but it's not yet, but will soon. Okay, let me give some padding here. 50 pixel. Let me try 50 pixel. Okay, it looks like this. I need more pixel here. Let me do 50% pixels here, 40% here, and 50% here, and 40% again. So let's see how it looks like. Okay, it looks like this here. Looks good. So now if I inspect here, let me go here and inspect. Okay, it looks like this. Good. It looks like here. Okay, so now I need to add a couple of the stylists here again. So this is how it looks like for the music controls now, and it looks like I have added everything. Yep, I don't need anything here. Let me make this a circle image, and this is my image is going to be, and this image called something called album cover image. And for this one, let me do as a circle. So for that one, let me give as a I think I already did that. Let me check. Where is it? It should be here somewhere. Yep, here it is. The width is 100. Let me give the height for this one too. 150 pixels. It looks a little small. Let me do a 200 pixels here. Okay, this is how the image look like. Let me do this as a circle. And to do as a circle, let me do as a border radius. Yep, border radius as a 50%. So now it will give me a circle here. Okay, looks good. And just in case object feed, I'll just do as a cover. Okay, looks good so far. This guy doesn't come with in the middle, so I need to make that as in the middle. So what is that guy? It's a song title, right? On music album, what is my music album? It should be music album. No, I don't have a music album created. So let me create something called music album. So on music album, ALBLUM. I think I misspell it album. So music album here, music album. Let me do as a text align center. So now it will come as a center here. Okay, looks good so far. Music control. Okay, looks good so far. Now basically now I need here the padding and margin as well for a song title and artist. And let me do that. So the first is song title. Let me give some padding as 10 pixel for song title. Okay. And let me do as a font weight is equal to 600. And okay, looks good so far. And the another one is artist. And artist, let me do as a color here. B2B 967 here. A little kind of like gray call for artist. Let me check where is the artist. Artist should be here. Okay, Catherine. And this should be color, not column. Okay, it looks like little grays here. This is good. So now what I need is a color and looks good so far. And this is play and good so far. Now we are almost ready for our CSS part. Now we need a couple of the animations part here. Okay. And for the animation one, we need to animate the image, and to image is basically it's going to be our album cover image. And for that one, we need to rotate our frame. Okay, we need to rotate our frame. So let me create the function called rotate, and let me write animations here. Animation rotate animate rotate frame, and 4 pixel not 4 second linear and infinite. Okay, it's going to load as an infinite time. Keyframe is equal to rotate here. Keyframe is equal to not rotate. Keyframe is equal to rotate frame. Okay, and rotate frame is a from and to. We can do as a from and to, or we can do a 0 to 100%. So transform is rotate, and the first is 0 from, and another one's the same one, but instead of from we should do a 2 here, from and to, and it's the degree is here 360 degree. Okay, so this is the animation that is need to be added later on. So this is the animations. For now I'm just gonna write it here. Okay. Okay, so far it looks good. Now let's get back, jump to the JavaScript, and let's work on the JavaScript part. Okay, now we need to do a couple of more stuff on JavaScript. So let me create another file. I think it's better to create another file here. I'll create something called script, and script I will create something called what's a music, what's a app.js, I guess. I think that's good. So now I already defined here on this script. So you know what? I'll copy this and I'll put in here my data, and here I'll just tell that okay, this where is my source is going to be. My source is going to be on script and app.js. Okay, this is my source where it's going to be. uh, script SCRA. I need to close this. Okay, so now this is my script here. Looks good so far. So if I print something here, let me refresh, then I will see a console here on the bottom. So refresh this. Test is printing right here. Okay, so my file is loading. I do have CSS. It's been added already on this file, and it looks like a music already. And here it looks like this. So the next step is to work with the audio file, and need to play the audio file as per we press this button. Okay, so let me go to the app.js here. Okay, and the first thing what I want to do is whenever we press this button, then it need to play the song. Okay, so I will use the ES6 syntax. So I'll create something called music player here with a class, and this class has a constructor. Okay, constructor. And basically on this constructor, the first thing is I will get the audio. I don't have any audio, so I need to put the HTML5 audio here, and that need to be hidden. And we're gonna use that hidden HTML to in our app. Okay. So now let me write here. Okay, this one, this is good. Okay. So let me do here, build the audio file and the controls. Okay. And I'll just give audio. Okay, and I'll give a class as hidden. I'm not going to create a hidden class, but I'm going to create a hidden class at the end, not now. Okay, so here is a source, and source has the song, and we're gonna manipulate this source with a JavaScript. Okay, but for now I'll just use one of it just to make sure that I can be able to play it. The type for this is audio slash makepeg. Okay, so now I will have my audio here on the bottom. I'm gonna hide that later on. Okay, so if I play it, it's going to play. Okay, it's going to pause and play stuff like that, but we're going to use this button to play this audio. So that's why we want to get this audio on JavaScript first. So we will create something called audio here. Okay, so we will create the audio, and we will add that the element of the audio on here. Okay, so document.get element by id, and we're gonna get that the audio. We can also use a query selector, doesn't even matter, but now we have that audio here on this audio. Okay, so this is the audio which we have now. And another one is we also need to change this the title whenever we click on next, stuff like that. But let me work first with the play button. Right, the play, if this play, then it need to play that song, uh, because that's the thing what we need to do. And the play button right here, the play button doesn't have any ID, so we will give the ID here. Okay, we'll give an ID called play, something called play event. So now we do have an ID, so we can use that ID here. So the first thing I'm going to do, when window dot unload, right, then it's going to trigger this function, and here it's going to trigger this function, and inside here I'll create something called play event, because this is the where the play event will trigger. So I'll just document that. This time I'll just use a query selector. I don't need to use a query selector, but I'll use a query selector as ID. So now in the play event, I will add an event listener, which is a click button, of course. Add event listener, and I will add a click button here. So now this will be log whenever I click that play button here. So if I click it, then the test will print, which is good, which is printing right here. Okay, so whenever it's click it there, then we need to play that song. Okay, that's what we want to do at this time. The first thing is, okay, so we already have that audio which has been binding with this our class. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna create another function here called play for now. Actually, it should be a play and pause later on, but let's try with this with the play for now. Okay, so once we have a play functions, then the first thing is what we need to do is whenever it will click, then it will audio, and we can do here the play. Okay, play functions. So now, so let me create the instance of the music player here. Whenever the window will load, then I will create the instance of the music player. So here is a music and player. Okay, so new music player. So whenever it's click it, then music player has a function called play. Sorry, play. So now I'll just close this and it's gonna play it. It's not gonna do any pause, but it's gonna play it. If I click it here, it's going to play it. Okay, that's what it's going to do. Okay, now let me make this little better. Let me grab the font awesome here. Let me get the font awesome CDN, and let me grab the font awesome CDN. Hold on, where is it? Font CDN. Here it is. Let me grab this 5.15 one. I'll just copy this URL and I'll put on this my index.html page here on before the link here. Okay, it will just grab this, so I'll just need to put this as inside the link bar. So I'll just put this link and href, and I'll put it here. I'll type here the rel, and rel is going to be style. So to make this bigger, style style as you see it. Okay. Okay, now I do have font awesome, so I could able to use the icon here. Okay, the first icon I'm going to use it is the play button. So play, the play. Okay, looks this is good, so I'll just grab this. So where is the play? It should be here, so I'll just grab it, and here it is. It looks like this. Okay, this is how it looks like now. So similar with the play. You know what? Instead of play, there is something called play circle too. Let me try the play circle. Okay, this is what I need. The play circle looks good, right? So now I will make this little here so you guys can see what's really going on with the file of the view while I'm changing on this HTML file or any file, right? So now I added this so the circle here. So let me grab and let me put it here as well. So now it will give me all everything, but instead of here, I'll use something called step backward. I think that it what is called. Let me see. Yep, a step backward. Font awesome has step backward. I'll paste it here and step forward for WARD forward. Okay, so now here it is. It's a step forward and step backward, right? So now let me add a couple of more style sheets on this icons. So let me go to my where is my style sheets here. So here let me add a couple of the things such as like for step, let me check what is it. Is a step backward or a step forward? Let me make this a little bigger because this is very small. I need to make a little bigger for this icon here. So the first thing I have is step backward, and I do have also the step forward, right? Step for forward, right? I do have step backward and step forward. Let me make this as a font size is 20 pixels. Let me see how it looks like. Okay, looks like a bit bigger. Big I need to make it bigger for the play button as well. And for a play one, let me grab the style set, which is FA play circle. So I'll grab this and I'll put it here instead of this two. FA play circle and make this, let me make this as a 50 pixel. Okay, looks bigger. So now what I need to do is let me do the border radius is already 50%. Let me change the color for this. I need something called kind of like orange color. 96F. Yep, here it is. So now the only thing is I need to make this as this is not even in center. So I need to make this as our center part. Okay. So that my music, it's on music controls. These are my music controls. So where is my music control here? Here it is. So let me do as align item is center. Okay, now it's in center part. Okay. Yeah, still it's going to play when I click this button, but it's not going to be pause, right? But whenever I hover this, I need to make as also whenever I hover it. So this is this button, play circle button. So what I'm going to do is whenever it's hover, let me do as hover here. Then instead of the cursor, this should be a pointer. So I can see like this. Okay. And similar with the other one as well. This other step forward, backward, everything. So let me do as comma here. Okay. Okay. So everything is whenever I hover this, guys, then I will see this as a pointer for my cursor. Okay, looks good. Of course, we're going to play this, but it's not going to pause. We need to do a lot of work now. So now let me go back to my JavaScript file, right? Let me back to JavaScript file. Okay, this is my data, which I need to loop it up. And this is a play event. Now it's playing the music, but we want to make this as a play and pause. We don't want to do every time to play. So I need to make this as a play and pause. So now let me to make that play and pause. To make and play and pause, need to use a trick here. So I'm going to use something called toggle here. The toggle is true. Let me make this the toggle. The toggle is let me do as a toggle is true, right? And let me check here if this dot toggle is true, then just play the song and make this toggle as false. Okay, just play the song and make this toggle as false. Okay, otherwise else if you the user will click that button again, then what the audio should do is audio should something called pause. So he can click again. If he click again, then make this as a pause, but the toggle should be true. Okay. So now how it does is whenever I click this button, it's going to play music. But whenever I click this back again, it's going to pause. Play and pause. Pause. Right. But the things now what we need to do is we need to change this icon to the pause also. Right. So to do that, we can also add the code on the bottom here, but instead of that, I'll rather create something called helper element, and I will create this as a static class, so I could don't have to insert this at all. Okay, so I'll create something called static function called create pause or play element. So this will dynamically give me the element. So let pause pause pause, and now I will create the element here and create element. Let me create the element called I, and now I'm going to create this as the icon here, similarly like a font awesome icon. That's all I'm trying to create here. And the font awesome always has a I. If you guys didn't know, then font awesome come with the I and a class here. So I know what's the class is going to be for pod, and I'm just going to create that I element, and on that element I'm going to add the class list. I'm going to add new class here, and that this class is going to be fast. Okay, so whenever you click the button, then it's going to add this class first, and the second class is going to be added as a dynamic, something called uh, play or pause logo, or maybe something called dynamic logo. So I will get that dynamic icon, actually not logo. I get dynamic icon, so I will pass that icon right here, and now this will return me a pause. I'm going to show you how it does now. So this will be on my dynamic class, which I'm going to call from the I'm going to call from this with this here. Of course, once this has been created, then of course I also need to add on my this class. I need to remove this, and I will add another one every time it changes. So I need to add here, right? I need to add here on the play event. And to do that, now I need to add it. So let me create another helper element here to add it. So static setup. Let me do something, create something called setup play element. Okay, play element. So I will get that play element event using a document.get element by ID, and that's called the play event. So now I'm trying to get these events here. So I need to replace this with, I need to remove this, and I need to add a new one whenever user press this button, right? So I will grab this, the first thing, because I need this. And on this one, I mean, there is different ways to do it, but on this one, I will clear the inner HTML. And after clear the email HTML on this event, I could able to append here the new element. And this element is going to be the element from here, static element, which is a helper element dot create a pause and play element. Okay, it's going to, so I need to provide what is going to be added here, the new brand new one. So whenever user click a play, then I will add something called fa pause, and this is going to be the icon pa. So whenever they click the play button, then it will change back to the pause one. So whenever I click this button, it will change back to the pause one. Of course, I need to do it here. So now I need to call this setup play element, right? I need to call this setup play element on here. And this is a static class, so I don't have to define at all. I just call this setup play element. So now how it looks like, whenever I click this button, then it's going to change on this. It's going to change on this because whenever I click this button, then this will trigger and this will get this element, and this will clear this element, and it will create a new element from here. That's what it does. Okay. Or I could create another one for a pause element. I mean, I don't have to create another play setup play, or you know what, or pause element, and we will send here the flag what is the element is going to be. So we'll just say that element here. Okay, so on this one, what we do is if the element okay, we don't have to do at all. We just need to send what is the icon is going to be. So I'll just send as this icon here, and here I'll just use as icon. Okay, so now also okay, looks like it doesn't work. The setup play element is not function. Setup play, yep, setup play in our pods. Now it should be work. So if I click it, it changes back. So now it will pause and play, but it's not going to change it later on. So, but whenever it's paused, then we need to provide here the different icon. And this icon is going to be a play icon instead of pause. Okay. So what really does is it will change back. So now you will change it. Of course, I don't have a CSS on this class. That's why it doesn't change it, but I will add the same CSS on this class as well here. Okay, so it's not that confusing, but here it is. So now it's now play pause. Right? It's like doing exact same thing as part. Okay, the half part is done, and on the next video I'm gonna add this the play button. I'm gonna go to the next one, I'm gonna go to the back one, and I'm gonna do some rotation as well. For that's all for this video. I hope you guys like it, and if you guys like my video, please do like and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and bye for now.